While an overwhelmingly majority of the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce are in favor of a review of the national minimum wage, the Chamber is of the view that this should have been done in a balanced manner to minimize adverse economic impacts. This was the focal point of the Chamber's official position on the minimum wage increase as presented during its annual Christmas luncheon on Wednesday, December 13th at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. Mr. Kevin Thompson, a director with the Chamber, in presenting the organization's position on the minimum wage review, said the Chamber proposed the minimum wage for a 40-hour work week be increased to $400 per week, that is $10 per hour.
We proposed the new minimum wage of $400 weekly for a 40-hour work week, equivalent to $10 per hour. This represents an 11% increase in the minimum wage as it stands, and also considers the fact that by increasing the minimum wage, hourly wages for non-minimum wage earners within companies would also have to be increased because of the cascading effect. Our proposal was not an arbitrary one. It is the result of a comprehensive analysis based on the Consumer Price Index, as I mentioned, the Food Inflation Subindex, and the Transportation Index. We observed an 8.2% increase in food and non-alcoholic beverages in the Consumer Price Subindex over the past 9 years, while the Transportation Index moved from a negative 4.35% to 9.96%.
Mr. Thompson hinted to possible impacts of increasing the minimum wage without considering other factors that could negatively impact the economy. These include an uncompetitive economic landscape, making St. Kitts and Nevis unattractive to foreign direct investments, and impacts to the hospitality sector.
An excessive increase in the minimum wage can cause a shock to our fragile hospitality sector. Still recovering from the devastating effects of COVID-19, this could potentially increase the cost of our tourism product in an already competitive tourism market. It can also result in dramatically reduced hours for some persons working in the hospitality sector, especially in our hotels during low season. Further, an excessive increase would translate into a significant increase in the cost of doing business in St. Kitts and Nevis, making us less likely to attract foreign direct investment as we compete with other OECS countries like Dominica, Grenada, and St. Vincent, where the minimum wage threshold is significantly lower than ours as it stands.
Mr. Thompson posited that the Chamber proffered a fixed formula and a balanced approach when reviewing the minimum wage. He also suggested a triennial review of the minimum wage to prevent a prolonged gap between when increases are approved. The last increase was made 9 years ago. Meanwhile, Ms. Patricia Welsh, policy advisor at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, engaged the Chamber members in a presentation and question and answer segment on the proposed minimum wage increase, pointing out that the private sector would have to shoulder the larger share of minimum wage payments across the labor market.
An increase in the national minimum wage would benefit approximately 3,081 jobs. No, we did not say persons. And the reason why, and I'm sure you can tell me, there are persons who have more than one job. Okay? So you have to look at it in terms of job. And this data, as you can see, the source, we always name our source. It is the Social Security. Of that total, the private sector accounts for the largest share, 77.9%, government 19.4%, and statutory bodies 2.8%. Of government total minimum wage jobs, STEP accounts for 50.3%, and NIA, which is the acronym for the Nevis Island Administration, accounts for 13%.
The Chamber of Commerce began participating in the Minimum Wage Advisory Committee since March 2023. During the presentation of the 2024 budget address to the National Assembly on December 13th, Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Terence Drew announced that as of January 1st, 2024, the minimum wage will move from $9 per hour or $360 per week to $10.75 per hour or $430 per week.
Achieving effective e-governance and digital transformation for the benefit of citizens, residents, and business remain key pillars of endeavor during the 2024 fiscal year, according to statements made in the National Assembly by Minister of ICT, Congress Maynard. According to Minister Maynard, the government is committed to the transformation in creating a modern environment for living and for doing business. As such, she indicated the move to ensure that citizens and residents have access to affordable and reliable digital services regardless of geographical location or socio-economic status. He pointed out that matters of cybersecurity are also critical in achieving success.
To achieve this, we have increased the budget for the development of ICT infrastructure, including the expansion of broadband connectivity and the establishment of community access points in rural and underserved areas. By providing reliable and affordable internet access to all corners of our country, we aim to empower individuals, businesses, and communities to fully participate in the digital economy. We prioritized various activities and programs for implementation on the three main categories: people, processes, and technology. The cybersecurity strategy framework defines the strategies to ensure the safety, integrity, and availability of government's data and information as it transitions to delivering digital services. We will work, of course, with the legal department to review and update the legislative framework and create legislation to facilitate and enable digital transformation initiatives for e-government, as well as telecommunications that would facilitate our broadband policies.
The minister was speaking on the occasion of the parliamentary debate on the 2024 national budget. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
From all of us at the Malice St. Kitts Resort, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Introducing St. Kitts and Nevis's newest TV channel, Television Caribbean, TVC Channel 40, on the cable's Ultra TV. TVC promises to deliver the finest in television broadcasting in St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean, with some of the best local programs in news, sports, and entertainment. Join us for Insights, where we delve into the lives of our guests.
Let me see what happened if I put this big explosion, like, okay, note to self, don't do that again.
Or get in-depth analysis on Newsline 360. We have sports, entertainment, and inspiration. It's all here on TVC Channel 40 on the cable's Ultra TV, on Tel TV cable network in St. Martin, and on our website www.tvcplus.live. TVC Channel 40. See the difference.
It's beautiful. He took one look at you and the angels started singing.
Another wonderful day.
What would you say about staying here for a few months or like a year, just so that we can be together again and just live and love and laugh and have fun and breathe?
Why are you hiding out on a little Caribbean island, singing in a beach bar?
When I came here, I was at peace, and I never left.
This is the beating heart of Nevis. This is what grounds me, what feeds my soul. It's where I found myself.
I hope your life here will be full of joy. Love this island, my son. She will give you more than you can imagine.
ready for a dazzling showcase of talent, intelligence, and beauty at the 41st edition of Haynes Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Teen. Join us on December 30th, 2023 at 8 p.m. sharp at the St. Kitts Marriott Hotel. Experience the brilliance of delegates from the Caribbean nation, including Mr. Kyler Hart Johnson, representing St. Kitts and Nevis. Our special guest host, comedian Fat Man George from Grenada. Power Pack performances by Soca Super, Lucas H.E., along with other local and regional performers, accompanied by the Greenhouse Band. Get your tickets fast for $80 EC before December 25th, or pay $100 EC thereafter. Don't miss the chance to watch the show live on sknvibes.com. It's the 41st annual Haynes Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Teen, where stars are born. Special thanks to our major sponsors, First Federal Credit Union, SL Hosford and Company Limited, Open Interactive, and Timothy Beach Resort. Join us and be a part of this legacy.
Looking toward a future using technology to enhance administrative, information, and data efficiency, the Ministry of Health is pursuing the linkage of all health institutions in the country. The Ministry of Health Communications Officer Gavin Bell told SKN Newsline that the multi-million-dollar project is financially funded via the Caribbean Development Bank, and when completed, it will support the development of new health services.
One of the other projects that we have going on is a island-wide project to interconnect all of the health buildings and administration around the island. It's an expansive project, if I'm not mistaken. It's funded by the CDB, and it will allow for network interconnectivity between all of the health buildings and health centers around the island. So the end result would be that at some point further down the road, you'll be able to have a system that is connected and will be able to bring up the necessary and the needed health information at request from virtually any point on the island. As you can imagine, this is a huge project and represents a huge step forward in terms of how information is shared and used in the healthcare process. And one of the things that we're very proud of is that at the end of the day, this would become the underlying structure that we can then build out different aspects of modern healthcare and patient and hospital relations.
Much emphasis has been placed on improving health facilities and their services to the public, with additional projects expected to start during 2024. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline.
The finalists have been named for the Carib Brewery's Senior Calypso Monarch. However, the St. Kitts and Nevis Carnival Committee have acknowledged and is addressing concerns raised regarding the scoring system used during the semi-finals, which was held over the weekend. According to a press release from the National Carnival Committee, an official complaint was filed by a Calypso semi-finalist regarding the scoring methodology employed during this stage of the competition. The complaint pertained to the scoring system, which should have been the high-low system, where the highest and lowest scores are excluded for each competitor. According to the release, upon a thorough review of the scoring process by the appointed auditor, it has been confirmed that the total scores for each competitor were inadvertently applied instead of the high-low system as prescribed by the Calypso Monarch policy statement. After careful examination and adherence to the high-low system as per competition guidelines, the National Carnival Committee has announced the revised scores for the Carib Brewery Senior Calypso Monarch semifinals. The results are Issa Camille 520, King Hollywood 472, Lady Diva 459, King Socrates 456, King Craig 433, Invincible 430, Queen Singing Jackie 419, and Lady Composer 416. The Carnival Committee apologized for any confusion or inconvenience caused by the scoring discrepancy and says it appreciates the patience and understanding of all participants, fans, and stakeholders involved in Sugar Mass 52. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
From all of us at the Monarch St. Kitts Resort, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Introducing St. Kitts and Nevis's newest TV channel, Television Caribbean, TVC Channel 40 on the cable's Ultra TV. TVC promises to deliver the finest in television broadcasting in St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean, with some of the best local programs in news, sports, and entertainment. Join us for Insights, where we delve into the lives of our guests.
Let me see what happens if I put this big explosion. Like, okay, note to self, don't do that again.
Or get in-depth analysis on Newsline 360. We have sports, entertainment, and inspiration. It's all here on TVC Channel 40 on the cable's Ultra TV, on TelTV cable network in St. Martin, and on our website www.tvcplus.live. TVC Channel 40. See the difference.
It's beautiful. He took one look at you and the angels started singing.
Another wonderful day.
What would you say about staying here for a few months or like a year, just so that we can be together again and just live and love and laugh and have fun and breathe?
Why are you hiding out on a little Caribbean island, singing in a beach bar?
When I came here, I was at peace, and I never left.
This is the beating heart of Nevis. This is what grounds me, what feeds my soul. It's where I found myself.
I hope your life here will be full of joy. Love this island, my son. She will give you more than you can imagine.
Get ready for a dazzling showcase of talent, intelligence, and beauty at the 41st edition of Ain Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Teen. Join us on December 30th, 2023 at 8 p.m. sharp at the St. Kitts Marriott Hotel. Experience the brilliance of delegates from the Caribbean nation, including Mr. Kyler Hart Johnson, representing St. Kitts and Nevis. Our special guest host, comedian Fat Man George from Grenada. Power Pack performances by Soca Super, Lucas H.E., along with other local and regional performers, accompanied by the Greenhouse Band. Get your tickets fast for $80 EC before December 25th, or pay $100 EC thereafter. Don't miss the chance to watch the show live on sknvibes.com. It's the 41st annual Haynes Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Teen, where stars are born. Special thanks to our major sponsors, First Federal Credit Union, SL Hosford and Company Limited, Open Interactive, and Timothy Beach Resort. Join us and be a part of this legacy.
Examining the factors contributing to rising inflation, the minister underscores the correlation between the duration goods spent on the wharf and increased costs for businesses. Known as time spent on the wharf or storage charges, these fees accrue after 3 days at the port. Any delay in clearance beyond this period incurs additional charges, potentially pressuring businesses to raise prices for profitability. Minister Emma Hippolyte emphasizes the government's commitment to establishing an efficient process mitigating inflationary pressures for business owners.
We are, as a government and at the Ministry of Commerce, continually looking at our processes under our ease of doing business platform. We've continued to do so. I know we are also looking at a program together with the Chamber of Commerce and SLASPA, where we are looking at what we call a single window, which is a software that is going to facilitate and make things easier for the business persons to trade with, to import goods.
The proposed single window system aims to facilitate the online importation and clearance of goods for businesses, Minister Hippolyte elaborates on the government's vision, emphasizing the importance of streamlining processes. The proposed single-window system aims to facilitate the online importation and clearance of goods for businesses. Minister Hippolyte elaborates on the government's vision, emphasizing the importance of streamlining processes to enhance efficiency.
When you have an entry going through customs, going through SLASPA, and then getting the right authorizations from the right ministries, all of that being done online. So we continue to work on that. So it's correct that there is room for greater efficiencies in terms of the processes for importation of goods and services, and we continue to work on that.
In 2022, the St. Lucia Air and Seaports Authority introduced the online appointment system for the clearance of personal effects cargo at Castries and VA4 seaports. This user-friendly application allows real-time online bookings, accompanied by automated email and text message reminders for enhanced efficiency.
With hundreds of visitors expected for the Yuletide season, the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, has installed new machines at the Sangster International Airport. But will it improve efficiency? Anthony Lugg has more in this primetime news follow-up.
Travelers using the Sangster International Airport in St. James have been demanding that something be done to reduce long waiting times and delays. With news of record tourist arrivals this winter season, the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, has installed 6 e-gates at the airport, which is expected to improve processing time significantly.
Part of the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency effort to both enhance travel facilitation and improve the security of our borders.
E-gates are self-service barriers used at airports worldwide, which uses data stored in passports along with a photo or fingerprint taken at the time of entering to verify the passport holder's identity. After the verification is complete, a physical barrier such as a gate or turnstile opens to permit passage. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett, during a tour at the airport on Friday, welcomed the move while noting that it's timely.
Jamaica is now one of the few destinations in the entire Caribbean area that has facial recognition and an e-gate system.
Despite the excitement surrounding the installation of the e-gates, there's still skepticism. The introduction of the electronic C5 form in September was expected to reduce waiting times, but little has changed. So, will the authorities get it right this time? This was Chief Executive Officer of PICO, Andrew Winter, on Friday.
We have to really thank all the persons and the stakeholders who have helped us to reach this point, and it is based on the feedback and the contribution that they have made, which has guided us to make the right decisions and to continue to work at finding solutions that will ensure that Jamaica becomes a destination of choice.
We know that the immediate post-COVID period has been challenging because the result of everybody's effort has caused a bumper response from the visitors to Jamaica. We're excited about that, but we want to make sure that creature comfort is maintained throughout.
Meanwhile, PICA says e-gates will also be installed at the Norman Manley International Airport in the coming days. Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
In Guinea's capital, Conakry, an uncontrollable inferno rages through the port city. From a short distance, those who escaped watch their homes and belongings go up in flames. Their relatives are trapped in the flames and cannot be rescued. The fire is spreading.
I was going to bed when I heard an enormous noise so loud it blew the roof off. The ceiling crumbled. I ran from my house. There was dust everywhere and I could see the flames. Everybody was running out.
The blast in the country's main oil depot came shortly after midnight. The heat could be felt several kilometers away in the suburbs, waking many of the 1.6 million people living in the capital. Panic spreads. Firefighters battle the flames with all the equipment they have, but it's not enough.
We've been here since 2 o'clock in the morning trying our best to do our work and bring this fire to an end.
In a statement, the government calls for calm It says the cause of the blaze is unknown. Workers are asked to stay home. Schools are shut along with petrol stations as authorities try to control what seems an uncontrollable fire. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera.
So let's start with the killing of those 3 hostages by the Israeli Defense Forces. What do we know at this point about what occurred?
Well, over the last few days, there's been widespread consternation in this country as details of how these 3 men died have been confirmed by the Israeli military. They came out with their hands up in Shajia. This is in the northern part of the Gaza Strip. You're seeing pictures there of the 3 men, including the man who you mentioned there, Alan Simritz, who was buried over the weekend. They were waving a white flag. They were shirtless. 2 of them were killed immediately. One of them managed to escape. There were cries for help heard in Hebrew, which should have been a signal to the Israeli military on the ground that these could be hostages. Despite that, there was a burst of fire, according to an IDF official who was briefing reporters, and the 3rd individual was killed. And there was a building nearby that was located on which inscriptions were for help, I should say, were found. So there were several really clues that should have been taken seriously by the troops on the ground. The IDF says that this was a violation of the rules of engagement, and there have been reiterations now on the ground by some of the officials inside of the Gaza Strip to their troops, saying that no one waving a flag, certainly no one waving a flag who is shirtless, should be shot at, should be targeted, and that includes any Palestinian coming out in surrender. Savannah and Valerie, back to you. But yes, you can imagine a lot of anger there among ordinary Israelis at the news here that's been confirmed by the military and the government of this accidental killing.
Now, Hala, given that anger, what kind of pressure are Israeli officials facing to resume hostage negotiations in light of these deaths? Is Prime Minister Netanyahu willing to return to the table, and how is Hamas responding?
Immense pressure on this prime minister. He is very unpopular in this country. More than 80%, according to a poll from a few weeks ago, want him to step down, though support for the war, it has to be reiterated, is still very high. I spoke to a source close to the negotiations. They are staying quite mum, but they're saying we're closer to an outcome than just a few days ago, which is not saying much because there had been really almost a complete breakdown of talks. But we are hearing reports that perhaps there's renewed momentum for talks. And we know, of course, that the U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is on a visit. We expect him to address reporters a little bit later with the Prime Minister. So we'll bring you the latest on that as well.
Also, Hala, meanwhile, the United Nations is continually warning about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, saying it is reaching a breaking point. Hospitals are now under siege as thousands look for medical treatment for injuries sustained during bombings. Also, we know disease is spreading. What are you hearing from the doctors working inside these hospitals? What is it like just on the ground there and to try to be helping other people?
Well, the hospital system in the north has all but collapsed, and Palestinians on the ground are telling us that some hospitals have been surrounded and raided. They're pretty much not operational. In the south, there is a lot of pressure on the medical team, some of whom have relocated from the north to the south to try to treat people with injuries. We spoke, the NBC News crew on the ground spoke to one doctor in Rafah, and this is how she described her job of trying to tend to those with wounds and injuries on a daily basis. Listen.
The situation cannot even be described. Every second in this war is difficult. It's very difficult and heavy on my heart. But when I have to deal with a child or a baby without their family, without their father and mother, I feel heavy-hearted and restricted.
Well, this, as we're hearing from the Ministry of Health, run by Hamas, that almost 19,000 Palestinians have died since October 7th. Back to you.
All right, Hala, thank you very much for your reporting.
The SKNFA Youth League regular season matches wrapped up on Sunday in Cayon, paving the way for the playoffs and finals to happen later this week. In the Atiba Harris Under-15 League, Nagico Cayon Rockets brushed aside Newtown United 3-0, with 2 of those goals coming in the second half, one of which was a Newtown own goal. Cayon's coach Alken Richards, who just last week led the Cayon Under-17 team to the title, said this win was important for the Under-15 team.
Yeah, it was very, very, very important. I mean, just going into the 4 now, we have to be more mindful of playing more intense and a better strategy. These guys are ready and up and going for the 4.
How motivated do you think these players are, especially considering the Under-17 success, winning the championship?
Yeah, the Under-17 actually give them a boost because, as I said, most of them already played for the Under-17, where they help develop the other youngsters, them as they come forward.
Right. And today, are you satisfied with how, I mean, you obviously satisfied with the result, but in terms of how the team played?
Yes, the result was good, but I mean, we need some more work. We have to go on back to the drawing board and see how we could come out more positive on the winning side going into the playoff.
In other Atiba Harris Under-15 League results, the match between Hot Springs Bath United and Saddlers United did not happen, as Saddlers did not show up for their match, giving Bath the points by default. In the SKNFA Premier Youth Cup Under-13, Jones Group Sandy Point edged SL Horse St. Paul's United 3-2. Coach Calvert Dixon of Sandy Point said the team played well, though he believes they could have played better.
They played good today. They still had some more things to iron out. I guess the last game of the season. But it was good, satisfactory. It was a good game too.
How would you assess the season overall?
Well, we had ups, we have a down. This was our first time in a long time. And as I said, it's a development. This is just a learning experience, development, and hope that next year they get more experience under the belt and we go from there.
So how do you intend to build on this for next season?
Well, next season we just continue where we left off. Now they understand and just build go from there. Training, development, different things like that, and you know, keeping them together and so on.
In other Under-13 results, Hot Springs Bath United won by default as Saddlers did not show up for their match, while Newtown United crushed the Nagico Cayon Rockets 5-0. Matches were also played on Thursday in the SKNFA Premier Youth Cup Under-13. We saw Bath United and Newtown coming to a 1-1 draw. A player with Newtown, Jethro Douglas, hailed the performance of his players.
Well, first thing first, I want to thank my goalkeeper because he went out there and played very well. And my midfielder, Ajinoel Wilkinson, he gave me the assist to score. Some other teams could not pull up the challenge what we do too bad, but now that game motivated us to play better.
In the other Under-13 matchup, Village Superstars defeated Security Forces 5-1, and Garden Hotspurs drew 1-1 with Saddlers. Then in the Atiba Harris Under-15 League, also on Thursday, Rams Village Superstars demolished Security Forces 15-0, and Newtown United were defeated by Hot Springs Bath United 5-3.